pentatonic scale is the most harmonious scale there is. And the thing is, in the scale book, I found things about the pentatonic scale that I don't think anybody ever found before. And how there's the 12-note scale on the piano, the black keys are a pentatonic scale, and the white keys are a 7-note scale. It's deceptive because you got black and you got white, but what it is really is 2 pentatonic scales, because everything's yin and yang. So you have a yang and a yin, 2 scales, and they're connected by this tritone. If you take the B and the F off the piano keyboard, you have 2 pentatonic scales. I quote something that I found in the New York Public Library from ancient China, where they ordered people to play only those 5 notes, and they tell you what would happen if you changed any of those 5 notes. It would destroy the society.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of playing live from 67 to 70?
There was a sitar player, and I can't recall his name, but I will probably find it somewhere. Wonderful guy. I don't know where I met him, but he played sitar. He's from India. And I played tabla with him, and we played around. I remember these gigs, 2 or 3 maybe, not a whole lot, where we played sitar and I played tabla.
Did you ever set foot on the Fillmore stage?
No, I really didn't. I didn't perform out. I didn't do that. We were looking for gigs and stuff in New York, but it just never was a big priority. I mean, it was, but I mean, it wasn't. Boy, I mean, that's all I did when I was in Colorado. I mean, we were just, that's all we did. Play, I loved doing it. Mary Ellen and I, when we got together with Norman Miller in 1980, they're jumping way ahead. I started doing concerts. I did concerts with Constance Demby, and that's a whole nother story. I mean, there's a lot of stories. Right now, I'm broaching 80 years old. I know some people think I don't look that old.
You don't look that old.
I've taken care of myself. I've really tried. And because I have a goal, I have a mission, I have a lot of work that I'm doing. I put a lot of energy into this, to music, and I want to leave a legacy that will go on for hundreds of years, basically.
No, that's beautiful.
Because that's what Musical Kaleidoscope, my big project, is all about. I've learned a tremendous about music. So my curiosity, my hard work, and my listening, and able to listen to music and know what it's saying, I guess you have to say. And I know a few other people have that same. It's a gift. And so from that, I've learned about so much great music that I've spent 20, 30, 40 years on, and I don't know anybody else is into it. The Renaissance sacred music I've never really met. The only time I've seen people that were interested in it was in the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris, where in the music library where people are doing research, and I see that they're studying Renaissance sacred music, and I'm going, wow, if I just lived here. And composers like Alexander Scriabin, that every day I'm learning piano music. Scriabin, that's one of my goals, is just playing that music. I love playing it. And composers like Ropartz, that nobody's heard of. I've even talked to people in music. I found one person that heard of him. Nobody's heard of him. He's wrote fantastic, beautiful music. And Albéric Magnard. There's a whole school of French Romantic music that burst out of I consider the greatest composer of France, César Franck, who's just now they're starting to, this whole thing is just, it's all part of a cycle. It's all these things are all interconnected. It's not just me, it's other places, other people. I know things are happening, everything's a cycle. So I know that this is what I've been discovering, and what I've been talking about, and what I've been presenting, and what I'm introducing with Musical Kaleidoscope. some of these great musicians and great music and the North Indian classical music. It wasn't just a trippy, dippy thing that happened with the hippies, you know, sitar and a crash pad or something. This was serious study we were all engaged in.
And I think if your album was ever properly released, Dawn, in its fullness, it would totally prove that. I mean, you get both sides, and then the piece comes back, the harmony, the beauty comes back after the explosion.
Dustin and I have been in communication. We met, he came down to Nashville from Illinois. What part of Illinois are you?
The armpit of America, Peoria.
All right. That one part. He came down from the armpit of America to Nashville. I'm not sure what it is. Music City. How's that? And wanted me to autograph the Don album. And we did an interview, and I want to release it. We did it with 2 cameras, and I want to do a really good job, and it's going to take a while, and so I haven't done it yet. And so I'm not really apologizing, but he knows we've been in communication for 10 years, and this man is totally dedicated to getting the Don album re-released, and he's got a lot of other treasures. He's a real scholar. He's also a great writer, and I've got his book, Sermon for No One, right? And I think a lot of his talent. He came down today. We've done this interview, and we had some tremendous talks. Tremendous. And he's a scholar, and he knows quite a bit about a lot of very interesting subjects. He's given me a couple of books that I'm going to read. So,
well, I tell you, it's been such an honor. I mean, you've made the greatest solo album I've ever heard by any artist.
Thank you.
And
that's a real compliment.
It's probably, I would put your album as probably the best concept album of ever, comparing the chaos to, to the peace of sound. It's just interesting. The heavy to the celestial, where the Vanilla Fudge comes in close with the beat goes on, which is kind of a history of music. But yours is to sound, which is more, it's the root of music. So it's like even more, and it's got all the philosophy, the transcendence. It's so deep, it's deeper than the Marianas Trench. It's just steeping with philosophy. And to be able to sit here in your house, interview you, is just an honor. I mean, this is cool. This is as good as it gets, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We tried to get you on camera, but...
Yeah, you didn't want your camera to break, trust me.
Yeah, well...
We got you introducing yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're not that prepared right now. We've been just working away at our musical Kaleidoscope project, and haven't been really set up here and where we are in this little house that we're renting right now, so... Everything's all good, and I'm really glad that you came. It was another synchronicity that you came right now, because right now was when I was starting to look at what the 60s, what I did in the 60s. The San Francisco Historical Society has released my Psychedelic Daze, a 12-part series on their website, and I'm very proud of that and humbled, I guess, because I feel like it's a real honor. And it is. And so you're coming just at this time when I'm just thinking about, I want to get these stories out and get all these, there's so many things I just want to get out, because I'm not going to have time to sit down and write a book about all these things.
Well, you have enough material to make one of the coolest reissues ever. I mean, I'm talking the whole nuts and bolts. If I was given artistic use, man, I could really design, or I think I could come up with something that somebody, with all the art, who knows how much was shelved originally with your...
Yeah. And you've been working on this 10 years.
I've been trying, yeah.
Yeah, 10 years?
I get the door shut on me every time.